Ano pala eh.
Are we a Filipino? Are we a Filipino? Are we a Filipino? I like to think that I am a Filipino, that I am as good Filipino as anyone. My heart thrills when I see our flag fluttering in the breeze. And yet, I find myself asking, how Filipino am I really? My first name is Kim. My last name is Chu. I'm half Chinese, but a proud Filipino. When I am with any girlfriends, or more correctly, when I am with my friends who happen to be girls, I talk to them in English. If they are thirsty, I buy them a bottle of American Coke. If they are hungry, I treat them to an Italian pizza pie. Mmm, delicioso. And when I have the money, I give them a real Chinese Doriat. Considering all this, considering my taste for many things foreign, what right do I have to call myself a Filipino? Should I not call myself a cultural orphan, the illegitimate child of many races? Rightly or wrongly, whether we like it or not, we are the end products of our history. Fortunately or unfortunately, our history is a commingling of polyglot influences. Malay and Chinese, Spanish and British, American and Japanese. This is a historic fact we cannot ignore. A cultural reality we cannot escape from. To believe otherwise is to indulge in fantasy. I must confess I am extremely confused and bewildered, young man. Wherever I am, whatever I may be doing, I am bombarded on all sides by people who want me to search for my national identity. They tell me the language I speak should be replaced by Filipino. They urge me to do away with things foreign, to act and think and buy Filipino.
Even in art, I am getting bothered and bewildered.
The writer should use Filipino as his medium, the nationalist pride. The painter should use his genius in portraying themes purely Filipino. They demand. The composer should exploit endless possibilities of the Huntington demand. They insist. The writer, the painter, the composer. All this sounds wonderful. But why? Why did he use Spanish when he wrote Tori and Philly? Was the rest of the nationalism because of it? Must the artist to be truly Filipino paint with the shoes of the Duat? And must he draw pictures of topless Muslim women or of ignorant warriors in G-strings? And if the composer deserves the kundiman, and he writes a lively song faithful to the spirit of the swinging youth of the day, does he become un-Filipino? I say again, we are what we are today because of our history. In our veins causes blood with traces of Chinese, Spanish, and American. But it does not sing with foreign influences, but it has become richer thereby. This tingling in fact could speed us on the road to national greatness. Look at or British and French, or Irish and Swedish.
Philippinism, after all, is in the heart.
If that heart beats faster because Philippines is making progress, if it feels with compassion because its people are suffering, then it belongs to a true Filipino. If it belongs with pride in our past, if it causes with awareness of the presence, if it leads with the faith of the future, then we will ask for nothing more. All other things are unimportant. I have an American first name, and I have a Chinese last name, and I am proud, very, very proud, because underneath these names beats a Filipino heart. The anatomy of a Filipino, written by Professor Felix Bautista, from 2 Aguinaldo, under the supervision of Mrs. Romelie Esmin, trained by Cedric Daniel Amores Marcena.
So, let's go. One, two, three, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Waki, waki, waki.
AKA Steve Alliance.
2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Ano